How's it going, everyone? I have been seeing a lot of takes on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and there is one take that I've been seeing quite a lot, more often than ever, and honestly, I'm here to say, maybe as far as the reception goes, I have said that I didn't think the consumer was gonna push back on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and we ultimately have to wait and see until pre-orders open up, but the level of vitriol attached to the PS5 Pro's price, and more importantly, the fact that there is no disc drive included, and if you really want everything vertical stand disc drive, PS5 Pro, let's throw in a game, let's throw in PlayStation Plus as well because you gotta pay for online. You're looking at $1,000, and region to region, it is varying just how much you're spending, but it is a lot of money. Let's put it frankly, it is a lot of money to get the PlayStation 5 Pro. I've also said in videos that to me, this is a premium product, and I feel like the PlayStation 5 Pro can exist in a vacuum, and it's not taking away from the PlayStation 5 base model experience. That is why I am not as upset about the PS5 Pro's price point, because it can just exist to the side, and if people don't want to buy it, the market is ultimately going to dictate where the console settles in at. I just have a feeling that there is a big enough audience of the super hardcore PlayStation audience that is going to end up buying the console, and the online rhetoric, I don't know, it's very hard to gauge whether or not it's a vocal minority, but when it's this much pushback, that's when you get to the point of, okay, there's a lot of people very upset about this, and rightly so. Now, when I made my initial video, guys, I was totally unaware of the fact that this was a digital-only console. I had watched the 9-minute clip and then immediately recorded that video. I did not realize the PS5 Pro was a digital-only console. I did not realize that there wasn't a vertical stand either because I didn't read the fine print. You know, it is me. I just saw the $699 price tag and I howled in laughter because at some point, like, I've been calling out PlayStation on doing egregious things for a while, for the entirety of the year. PlayStation Plus Extra and the yearly subscription price going up was insane. The DualSense controller going up in price was insane. Those two honestly make me even more upset because those are things that the normal audience needs. If you have a PlayStation 5, you might need an extra DualSense controller. It's not like that's a premium service like this souped up console is. PlayStation Plus, that's a regular service that you need to play online, and they up the yearly cost for that. PS Plus Extra is a regular subscription service. They increased the price of that, lowered the value proposition of PS Plus. DualSense went up in price. The value proposition is the same, and they just quietly upped the price of that. And I've been pushing back on Sony quite a lot. Maybe I'm not as hard on the $700 price tag, and I should be, based on the fact that now that, the disc drive isn't included, and that has become abundantly clear, that's a little insane. You're talking over $800 after tax, and once you get to this high of a price threshold, the question that I've been seeing reiterated over and over again, and it's a legitimate discussion to have at this point, if you are talking about getting the most performance, how about looking at PC gaming? You can build a PC, I'm not gonna say for $700 to build a PC and get it to run games at 4K 60 FPS, if that's what the PlayStation 5 Pro is going for. I have to ultimately see the performance and what these exact games are gonna look like, but let's say if you're trying to get 4K 60 FPS, $700 is gonna be rough. However, when you fully contextualize what you need for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Okay, so you get a PS5 Pro. Let's say you want to get the disc drive attachment. That's $800 right there. You gotta pay for PlayStation Plus if you want to pay to play online. Online gaming on PC is absolutely free, so you take that, and then when you also look at the other benefits that PC gaming is going to give you for a minimal price differential at this point, from the premium on a PlayStation 5 Pro to what a very good PC that you could build for probably, let's say, $1,200 to $1,300, which isn't that much more expensive, especially if you consider the fact that you are going to have to pay for online for what? In perpetuity, you have to pay for online gaming, and if that's, whatever, you're paying for 4 or 5 years, like, you're already at the price point of a very, very good PC. If you're talking about a $1,200, $1,300 PC, you could easily get an RTX 4070 fit into that build, and a 4070 is going to get you a nice build. And then think about all of the other benefits that you're going to get. Mods, cheaper games. Like, that's just the reality. You look at services like Humble Bundle, go look at that Resident Evil bundle that's available on Humble right now and tell me that PC gaming has more expensive games. It just does not. Warhammer Space Marine 2 just came out, and I had talked about it in our preview videos. You could get that game for $50 on PC while it's $70 on console. PC absolutely has the cheaper games. You're talking about emulation being available. Yes, ultimately, if you look at it, $700 versus a PC that can do 4K gaming at really high frame rates, you're gonna end up paying over $700 for that PC. Maybe you could get used parts and you can finesse your way into a $700 PC that could do gaming at the level of... I just think that would be really difficult, but I think if you're talking about spending $400 or $500 more on a gaming PC, ultimately, the money is going to be coming back at the back end, and you are getting a PC. You could do video editing. You could do, a lot more with a PC than you could do with a console. I think that argument now is more relevant than ever. On top of that, on PC, you're gonna get the Xbox games day one. Look, PlayStation is getting some of the Xbox games, your Hi-Fi Rushes, your Indiana Jones. I highly doubt they're gonna get Gears of War E-Day real quick. I highly doubt they're gonna get Avowed. I highly doubt they're gonna get the new Fable. You're gonna get all of those on PC, and you're going to be getting PlayStation games on a 2-year turnaround for the most part. God of War Ragnarok, 2-year turnaround on that game. Days Gone, 2-year turnaround. Returnal, 2-year turnaround. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, 2-year turnaround. So you ultimately get the PlayStation games as well. You get the Xbox games on day one. You get emulation. You get cheaper games. You get free online. When you couple all of these things together, to me, PlayStation 5 Pro is looking like an incredible ad, an unintentional ad for PC gaming. Now, at some point, I don't know, PlayStation could pull their games from coming out on PC. I highly doubt they're gonna do that. And I've always been of the mindset that the PC and console markets are separated, but when you have the console, the premier consoles getting more and more expensive, and if you want the highest end performance, and then you look on over to a PC and you get free online, you're getting emulation, you're getting all of these things that a console is not gonna have, suddenly PC gaming is becoming even more and more attractive. It's one thing when you have as low as a $400 box, because remember, back when the PlayStation 5 came out, and this is back in 2020, the digital-only PS5 box was $400. Now you're talking about $800 for the souped-up console. If you want the disc drive, you still have to pay for online. Sony's still gonna... I believe they're still going to continually take advantage of you as long as they have the lion's share of the market and they can get away with doing everything that they do. I do believe the PS5 Pro is going to sell fairly well because that hardcore audience, like I said, the whales, so to speak, and maybe that's not the best term, I do believe they are going to pay anything that Sony asks because they're so invested. Look, Sony's gotten away with upping the price of PS Plus. They've gotten away with DualSense controllers. They've gotten away with so much over the last few years, and there's nobody to check them outside of when they do absolutely ridiculous things like drop Concord and that game bombs, and then the consumer will check them on that. But the market is the best when you have a direct competitor that's able to check you. Nintendo lives on an island on their own, and I've seen a lot of social media posts of, oh, Nintendo has the opportunity to do the funniest thing of all time. Well, Nintendo Switch 2 is not going to be at the level hardware-wise as the PlayStation 5. At least I don't think so. I don't think Nintendo's platform is going to be able to run an Assassin's Creed Shadows and a lot of games that people want that are next-gen. I feel like that's always the issue with Nintendo in being a direct competitor. They're off on their island on their own. They're going to make buckets and buckets of money, and they kind of do their own thing. PlayStation and Xbox are direct competitors with one another. PC, I feel like, is kind of in its island on its own, and Xbox isn't opposing PlayStation that much. Maybe if PlayStation misfires more and more, Xbox is gonna be able to check them, but I just don't see that happening, and that's what lets Sony get away with a lot of their nonsense because they aren't being checked. When Xbox dropped, the always online Xbox One, PlayStation was right there, made that used game video, and the PS4 obliterated the Xbox One, and that really has given PlayStation the lead in the console market ever since that, going back a decade. But now I look at this, and the amount of pushback I am seeing and the amount of rhetoric that I am seeing of people being like, yo, at this point, why am I not just buying a gaming PC? And the amount of times that I've seen that has been enough to be like, okay, people have taken notice. People have had enough with PlayStation, and that's honestly a good thing because the consumer at this point is the only one that's going to be able to check PlayStation on their nonsense, because if Xbox isn't going to do it, it's going to be up to the consumer. And if that means a lot of people are going to move to PC, ultimately, that is going to be a good thing in the long run. Because while my personal opinion is the PlayStation 5 Pro is this premium console that can exist in a vacuum, if people suddenly buy it in droves, then they're gonna realize, yo, we can go digital only forever. We can price things however we want, and it's going to have a trickle-down effect to the base console as well. Don't get that twisted, because that absolutely will happen, and it's gonna be very interesting to play out. But I think for the long-term health of PlayStation, this level of pushback is exactly what PlayStation needs when they get this out of pocket. Like, it is insane, but also from the aspect of, guys, look at PC gaming. Like, that's a legit, real attractive option right now with Xbox games day one, PlayStation games at a delay. You're talking mods, you're talking emulation, you're talking cheaper games. Even if you spend $400 or $500 more than what a Pro would be, that money is going to come on the back end. Free online as well. Just consider all of those facts, and that's definitely something to consider. I get that a lot of people just prefer the, you know, couch console experience. There's the argument, oh, you can hook up your PC to a TV and whatnot. You know, there's a lot of arguments to be had, but I feel like gaming PCs just got a huge W today, unintentionally. PC gaming in general, Steam, whoever wants to take the mantle, that whole market in general just took a huge W off PlayStation's price point on the PS5 Pro. But let me know what you guys think. I might be out to lunch, and honestly, I was humoring the $700 price point because, yo, I've been crapping on PlayStation all year long, and when it gets this ridiculous, $700 for a console without a disc drive, $800, like, I am just of the belief that there's gonna be people that are just gonna buy it regardless, and they're gonna be fine, and they're just gonna get away with it. But at this point, it does seem like there's been a lot of pushback, and it is a little bit alarming, and you would have to think that PlayStation is taking notice of it. Now, pre-orders open up on September the 26th. There's no way they can go back and they're gonna course correct any of this. And again, we might be living in this isolated vocal minority world. That's absolutely possible, and once the pre-orders open, we'll realize if we're living in a bubble or not. But let me know what you guys think, especially as far as PC gaming is concerned in context with the PS5 Pro's price, because the amount of comments that I saw on my videos about people wanting to move to PC gaming now, that was a little bit alarming to say the least. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.